All right, welcome to this episode of Horrible Horror, where the three of us watch bottom of the barrel B-rated movies and critique them. I'm Steve.
I'm Dillon at Spookboy709.
I'm Seth from Hellbound.
All right, so we actually have a list of movies that we put together. Seth, you added a lot of them to it, and the stipulations were that they have to be like really bottom of the barrel movies, but also ones that aren't necessarily talked about a lot on YouTube, and ones that we have access to as well.
Yes.
And so I chose Amityville in Space. You chose the last movie, Seth, which was
Cemetery Gates.
And then, so this time it was Dillon's turn to choose. And Dillon, you immediately came up with this one. You seem very excited for it. And the title you chose was?
It is called Terror at Blood Fart Lake. I like fart jokes, and if there's no fart jokes in this, I'm going to be really upset. And if there's too many, I'm also going to be upset, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like definitely the title got my attention.
Are you okay?
Oh, yeah. I shit my swimsuit. So, later.
What a woman.
All right, so the director of this film is a guy named Chris Seaver, and it's someone that I've never heard of myself.
I've not heard of him either. So, Seth, have you heard of this director?
Chris Seaver. Chris Seaver is someone that I am way too familiar with. I've seen way too many of his films. He's not good at all. But I don't want to give too much away. Anyone who owns his movies, though, is a total dummy. And I have like so many of his movies. So I even have his autograph on the back of one of these. I don't like to badmouth directors. I will badmouth Chris Seaver 100%.
Is there a reason why? Like, why do you want to badmouth him over others?
I think for reasons that will come apparent in our viewing of this, I think we will all be able to badmouth him at the end of this. I will say, though, I have a lot of respect for him because this guy puts out movies like no other. His dream isn't killed from a bad review, so good for him. But honestly, It feels like just if we made a movie in a day, and that's about as much work that goes into his movies.
Let's see. So I was checking the Internet Movie Database rating on there, and it's got a 3.6 out of 10.
Too high.
Movie. So yeah.
Too high.
It's actually, not as low as I anticipated for one of his movies, from what I've heard of him. I'm curious to check it out.
Oh, let me see. Oh, Billy Ted, I love those guys. Could have me next to them. Oh, dude, what the? My dick is huge.
Gives a new meaning to cornholing, eh?
When we first decided to do this movie, we talked about doing a drinking game. And what were the rules of the game that we just kind of came up at the top of our head?
I think we should take a sip anytime farts are mentioned or anyone actually farts on screen. Anytime there's like a fart or a fart like joke or something like that, we should just take a sip. Yeah.
So we've all got our alcohol ready. I've got Twisted Tea here. And no, they do not sponsor this video or this channel. Cool
I got Labatt Blue that I put in that, which they also don't support or monetize this stuff. But if you want, you can.
Yes. And I am drinking bourbon and Coke. There's one good thing I can say about this movie. It's only 74 minutes long.
I'm pretty excited about that aspect of it, to be honest. Actually, Dillon, if you'd like to read the back of the box summary on that to get us pumped for the movie.
Yes, let's get pumped. Let's do this. So, the legend of Blood Fart Lake is, well, legendary. When a group of college kids head off to their friend's cabin for a little high-octane sex weekend, they'll get more than they bargained for in the form of the evil scarecrow killer, Jimmy Van Brunt. Seems like nobody's safe at spooky cabins in the woods by the lake these days.
Well done.
I'm intrigued.
Let's watch the movie.
The Horrible Horror.
Fart.
Yeah. Now get the hell out of my sight!
Oh,
Oh
green screen.
Oh my god.
Jesus. Like it's literally like in your face. Like he has like cuts. Like
It's,
you see
yeah, the
cuts in the image.
space.
And
Yeah.
it's space.
Yeah, where are they driving to?
Oh, and here's a pearl of wisdom to take with you on your personal journey.
Harsh.
Sorry, dude. I don't need no wet vag fogging up my personal destiny.
There is something I forgot to do.
What? This. No. Oh my god! The digits!
My digits.
Fucking leave!
Well, I guess we should start from the beginning.
I don't want
Yeah.
to talk about this movie.
I know. All right, great episode, guys.
Yeah,
See you later.
They said fart kind of enough, but not enough to like get drunk off of. So I had to do it on my
Yeah.
own because I needed to be drunk to watch this freaking movie.
It was rough. I gotta say, it was rough. I mean, even Amityville in space. I mean, I know we keep going back to the, to that one, but I mean, I'll take that one over this any day.
Any day. Any day. I am so sorry,
Honestly, I
Mark
agree.
Polonia. You do no wrong in my books. Like
Exactly.
I love
Yeah.
Amityville in space. I will watch
I
that
know,
any day
it-
compared to this.
Yeah. So I guess who wants to take the reins and start this discussion?
I guess I picked it. So okay, so the movie starts out with Hambone.
Hambone got the ladies. Hambone got the 9 foot.
9 foot.
That's right.
And he's walking.
Some award-winning dialogue here.
I don't even know why he's talking at this point. He's just talking about his and then they do that Friday 13th grab, and then they like
Hambone reasonably confident that Hambone gonna live forever. Shit.
oh wow, we got that
No.
Friday 13th thing. Didn't even grab him. Please pull him
Nope.
in.
So I want to say during because once it turns red, there's the opening credits and it's the girl just like doing kickboxing stuff. I was excited because I have seen way too many Chris Seaver films. That Teen Ape showed up just in the credits. That was totally cool. But then Steve, the movie actually starts. You want to talk about that?
Yeah, well, I did like the song that was playing. I was like, this is a kind of a catchy song, It was
Yeah.
kind of fun. It kind of gets you in the mood. I'm like, okay. So then it cuts to our main characters. They're in the car driving, and then the car apparently runs out of gas. No one notices, right? I think, Seth, you made a comment about that.
You fucking moron.
Oh,
Well, guess what? You're pushing this thing the rest of the way to the
Isn't
car.
there
oh no way!
fuel gauge?
You move.
That's what I was thinking.
What kind of vacation? What?
The one guy was given $30 to fill up the tank, only used 5 of it. But you'd think the driver would realize that it's on empty.
So then they run out of gas and they're arguing and stuff. And then this guy appears out of nowhere with this comically bad mustache and wig on. And in the universe of this movie, the guy says that he'll give them some gas.
Mhm.
So he walks over and he takes a leak in their gas tank, and that works. They have gas again, and they're all excited about that.
I feel like
He's filling
Ow.
up the gas tank.
No one thinks that's weird. They're very excited, and then they head to the. Is it a cabin? I guess. I mean, it looks like a.
It's like a
It
trailer.
looks like just like a little trailer house or something.
I mean,
And so-
I think it's supposed to be a secluded cabin. They have a trailer house next to a bunch of other houses next to a lake.
Yeah. And so we meet our cast of characters, and I don't remember a single name
No,
of anyone. We mentioned the
Mhm.
guy's name that was with the afro,
is it
Caspian.
Caspian? That's what it was.
And we should mention
Yeah.
that it's the same actor who played the guy with the bad mustache. He's playing 2 dual roles. I thought that as Caspian, he kind of resembled Jack Black.
Did I do something to offend you?
I
Yeah.
don't know. I really like Jack Black. I really did not like Caspian. So
Me
it was,
too, I know.
it was hard to be like, yeah, totally.
I was trying to grasp at things that I could like in the movie. So I'm like, oh, he looks
Yes.
kind of like Jack Black. And I started thinking about some of Jack Black's movies. I'm like, man, those are some good movies that he was in. So the lead, we should say,
Yeah.
is the guy is the t-shirt guy, right?
I'm Ben, lifelong horror fan. I also own my own t-shirt company, Fright Rags.
They were just promoting Fright Rags in their own way and doing a terrible job at it.
Yeah. I'd be a little more discerning if I was, had my product in a movie like this. But
Yes.
All right, so we have this crazy group of characters. I guess Ben is basically kind of the lead, I feel like. There's the actress who's like she's a 1950s actress, but it's today. And so she talks like in that old-timey kind of way.
Forget about these chuckleheads. Take a whiff of my brilliant frame.
So there's the boyfriend and girlfriend. The boyfriend who likes music like Aerosmith and stuff like that. And there's a goth girlfriend who's a little bit more overweight, and they really play on that. But she's super hypersexualized. But that relationship's a little weird because he doesn't seem super into her, but she's like super into him.
And doesn't he, I think you mentioned Dillon, doesn't he like give her away at one point, basically? He's just like, oh, you can have her, something like that. You're just like, what the?
Pretty much.
He doesn't even know her name.
Hey, I think you just found your new fuck friend. Hey, man.
It's Sally Zeebs. Remember? Sally.
Sally, Susie. Man, it's whatever, fucking loopy gash.
There was one point where Ben, the Fright Rags guy, he was looking out the window and he saw this other character, I guess, supposed to live in the area.
She was wearing flippers and it was goofy and then she farted.
Yeah.
Are you okay?
Who didn't fart in this damn movie?
That's a good question. Who did not fart? I think most of the girls farted. Not a lot of the guys did.
Yeah, was that really farting at that point, or was that sharding? Are we missing any characters? Is that
yes?
Oh, I'm
there's
sure.
one other character.
This is Snake.
Why do they call you Snake?
Fuck you.
Oh, so we have another character. She's kind of a mysterious character. She just says she wants revenge, and she comes across a mustache guy, and she hitches a ride with him, right?
And then they partake in sexual intercourse, and she takes off her top for this movie. Which, why would you ever take off your top for a Chris Seaver movie?
It's kind of depressing. You're just like, oh man, you went that far for this movie. You know why?
It's not even lowering themselves to like taking off the top, because so many movies do that. They cut back to the sex scene after a couple scenes of dialogue, and he's literally on her. Like it's so much more lowbrow than just like, oh, I took off my top for this movie. It is, you're gonna get on.
I know.
It feels very much like a whole bunch of high school kids made this movie. Maybe even like early high school kids made this movie. So like to see a woman take the top off is like next level.
We talked about this. This is like a high school production. However, they're like 30 when they're making this movie. So it's high school humor, but made by a 30-year-old.
I will admit that the eccentric guy, what was it, Caspian, he was kind of funny at times. Some of his lines a little bit, you know, I mean, it got really old fast. But some of them was kind of, I mean, at least he kept my attention a little bit.
Grab onto my tits and hold on. Oh. Cream cheese is made of me. 2 parts cream, 3 parts me.
Not an amazing actor, by no means. Not even close. But, and he said some shitty things that suck. I give him credit, like he was my entertainment.
I think everyone was having a good time. I feel like they were all friends. I feel like some of them didn't need to act. They were just eccentric, and they felt comfortable enough in front of the camera to be like goofy.
The one thing, like I said, I give him credit for like keeping that tone, the same tone in between shots. Like days. I'm sure it took days to do it. So it's like the fact that you're not an actor, but you were able to do that. So like I give you credit on that aspect. But like aside from that, I'm pulling most of those cards away from you because you don't deserve too many of them.
Yeah.
I don't know how Chris Seaver does it, but he gets actors to say the craziest, creepiest stuff and with like a smile. So good on Chris Seaver.
One thing I gotta know. You like Bon Jovi?
Bon Jovi blows!
This is painful.
Everything about it's just lazy. Like everything about the movie's lazy, of course.
There's no lighting. There's no
audio.
Not a lot of thoughts for shots. Audio is terrible. We watched Amityville in Space, and there were a few moments where we're like, oh, they tried, but here's a really bad part. You know, this is all bad. And like 2 or 3 things where they're like, I think that was effort. I don't know, but I think they tried there.
Oh, the shot where she goes down, she does the
Mhm.
splits, right? And then she punches a guy in the nuts,
Yeah.
right?
Oh my God!
Yeah,
That
because
was
it's
kind of
like
interesting.
it's like a regular shot, then they quick shot or quick cut, a regular cut, I guess, a regular cut for her down below, went down, and then zoomed into her face. It was good. It was an attempt.
The interesting thing about this movie too was that it's a slasher movie, but outside of the opening death scene, which we didn't see because it just does the Friday the 13th ripoff and it kind
Mhm.
of cuts away. We don't get our first death until, is it like 45 minutes or something, right? I mean, it's
It's
Something
almost
crazy. Definitely like late 30s, early 40-minute mark.
yeah, it's half over, and we're
Mhm.
supposed to be enjoying the characterization, I guess, and the humor, but yeah,
The character sucks. The killer, like the killings sucked. Like no, none of the deaths were okay. Like none of them were like, this is memorable. Like they all sucked.
and the weapon of choice for the killer was a corn cob.
like the
Yeah.
killer died in a cornfield when he was young. If it was very similar to like Hatchet or even Friday 13th, where there's someone
Mhm.
with a learning disability that dies young, and police were there to make it happen.
Mhm.
And he died in the cornfield, got stuck in a scarecrow costume because he thought it would protect him. So he uses corn while dressed up as a scarecrow. Super clever, but terrible.
I know.
I mean, not a whole lot happens. There's just a lot of goofiness and lame dialogue and things that the director and probably the actors at the time thought was really funny, but we're us watching it. Maybe it'd be funny if we knew them or were friends with them. We'd say, "Oh, this is so funny," but just us as an audience, it just wasn't.
I will say the script it like goes nowhere, right? It's very stereotypical by like bare bones script. However, the dialogue, people are always talking. There are no scenes
Yeah.
of just like you walk around and try to build an atmosphere. It is just talking for the sake of talking.
Mhm.
Oh my god.
Yeah, he's trying to do like a Tarantino, like snappy dialogue kind of thing, but yeah, it doesn't work.
No.
That's not snappy to me.
Kudos to him, I guess, for getting his stuff out there and people are watching
Mhm.
it. I mean, some people are, I guess. I mean, we're watching it. Seth,
Yeah,
you got an
who-
autographed copy of his
Yeah,
collection.
right.
Once the killing finally kind of picks up a little bit,
Mhm.
they kind of get knocked off one by one in really stupid ways. The killer has like a lot of monologues and he's not imposing in the slightest. I guess he's
Yeah,
supposed to be funny, but
was he supposed to be like flamboyant? That's what the vibe I was
Yes.
getting.
I
Yeah,
guess.
definitely flamboyant.
Sorry I can't hear you. I'm jamming out to some Diamond Dave solo stuff. You should check this shit out, man. It's awesome. Yeah.
We should probably talk about the killings, right? The one stoner guy just gets a cob to the right?
Well, into his ass, it comes out where his should be.
Oh, I'm thinking, who was the guy before that?
Oh my god! The digits!
And then the next kill is his girlfriend.
That was
like the Tim
mean-spirited.
Burton goth fan, yeah. So what does he have? A liposuction machine, I guess?
He has a vacuum cleaner hose with like a little like opening suction part, and then he has like a blow up mattress like battery pack
Motor,
attached
yeah.
to it to make it look like there's something, but there's nothing. There's no
Yeah.
bag, there's no suction like housing, nothing. It's just like this too
Yeah.
big in this just to make it look good, and then it's supposed to be sucking up her fat, I guess, and
Yeah.
feed it back to her, and in a whipped cream style.
I'm not even hungry!
This is this.
Whipped cream.
Yeah, because he was saying
Yeah.
fat goth girls aren't in, the skinny goth girls are in, so I'm gonna make you skinny.
And it was just, I mean, it made me think of the actress, like how it's kind of degrading and kind of mean spirited for her. Like,
100%.
hey, I'm
That's
going to
what
be
I
in
was
your
thinking.
movie and you're just going to insult me, I don't know. It's just-
Yeah, there's a lot of name calling and a lot
Yeah,
of like
yeah.
nonsense like dialogue that just
No one's thinking
Yeah.
it's funny. He's 30 years old. Grow up, dude.
you tout it.
I know.
All those movies are like that too. Like all of them have the fast dialogue. All of them have the degrading moments, the R word, C word, any word you can think of. Let's just make fun of people for the sake of making fun of people.
Yeah, who would actually
I don't know.
support this guy?
Some hellbound guy.
And then there's not another kill until the end, right? Because then 50s movie girl and Fright Rag's knockoff are captured by Caspius, right?
For some reason, yeah.
What are you about to do?
Watch you get slaughtered for my own erotic enjoyment.
What? Kill us?
But why?
Because I'm fucking psycho, that's why, knucker!
The girl who stole the car and Leo break into the front door.
Me, motherfucker!
Sister?
Sister?
And she wants to kill him, and then there were bickering like siblings do, and she was doing this motion while he talked about jeans or something. And then there's a big fight sequence.
I can't believe you remember the jeans thing, because then he was like, oh yeah, I had to tell everybody that had to like, they were out of material, so they had to make them bigger or whatever, yeah.
I had to tell all my friends the makers ran out of the material. And that was the style!
Who wants to talk about the way that the sister came up with to kill Caspian?
Yeah, well, first the Scarecrow dies, and they kill him by putting a corn cob in his head, right? And they just like twist it around while they're fighting the Scarecrow. And it's very Final Fantasies, Dillon-esque fight where they kind of take turns like, you punch me, now I punch you. They're having sex on a tree, Leo and the girl.
Yeah, out of nowhere, all of a sudden.
Stupid.
Like
in the middle of the fight. She did say earlier that like her pussy needs a pounding in order for her to recharge her whatever.
I know.
So I don't remember
That's very
that,
true.
So thank you for Seth, because I don't remember
Something
that.
else
That makes sense now.
Paid attention to.
Dylan, do you want to tell everyone how she kills off Caspian?
I would love to, actually.
Please.
So the sister of Caspian, the one that was in the latex leathery outfit that showed her boobs and everything, that was like the fighter. Apparently there's some like saber-toothed leeches that have been living in her anus cavity and just, thriving. And she's been training. I don't know how, but she's been doing it. So she gets the other guys or whoever to grab onto what is his name?
Caspian?
Her brother. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Her brother. Her brother who's evil, and says that you have to be shoved into my asshole, into my ass.
Come again?
And then those leeches and everything is going to tear up your skin and your bones and muscles and just leave all the bones.
It's the only way. Now stick that fucker in my ass.
There's a million other ways, bitch!
They push him into her, so his head is like pushing up against her skirt. They do an overhead shot of her, her legs are spread like this. She's bent over. And he's like, you see his legs underneath her just underneath, like way underneath, not even in her ass area, but that's fine. Being consumed by her ass as she's making all these faces in the camera, like, ready to like explode, like she's enjoying it. And then all these guys are around her like she's giving birth, like, it's okay, we got you. What do you want me to do? I don't know what to do. Mr. T's over here. I don't know what to do. And then she ends up shitting out all those bones. So he's dead. He's dead. Caspian is now dead. Her brother is now dead.
And then it's just over, right?
It's just over.
Done.
And the credits are short. And then there's like a little teaser for the sequel, which there is a sequel. So if you really like that one, have fun with Return to Bloodfire Lake.
It was hard to get through for me. It was just, it was so stupid. And I just don't really like the humor that the movie had. That kind of humor where it's really stupid and it's trying to be stupid. I just can't stand that. Even like the special effects weren't, you can't be like, oh, the special effects were great. They weren't even that great. They were pretty bad. I mean, everything about it was just, like you said, Dylan, just not really trying. Yeah, I definitely would not recommend it to fans of bad movies or people that want to watch a movie to have a good time. Like, I would not recommend it.
Yeah, I agree. I actually am on the same boat with you, Steve. I don't think that I would recommend it. I don't think it is a good movie, even on the bad spectrum of him. I just don't even think it's like a good bad movie. It's just a bad movie in general. Didn't try. They had fun making it, so I give them credit. They had fun. Sure. You can tell they had fun, and I give them credit. It reminded me of my high school days making movies. But the problem is they're not in high school.
Yeah.
So that's where they fail for me. I'm just so much at like a place with this movie already where I'm like, move on.
Listen, if you like home videos of people at home trying to make their own videos and watching them just for the sake of you going, I can do better than that. That is the only way I could ever recommend this movie. Chris Seaver, God, I respect you because you get these things out real fast. You're making a career of it. Good for you. But your early work is terrible. I do not recommend. I had to get really drunk just to be able to put up with your movie. This is the 6th movie that I've actually watched all the way through. And I'm sorry, but I can't anymore. Like, this has to be the last one. If anyone that says Return to Blood Fart, like, I'm going to scream. So, that's it. Do not recommend it. Steve, you don't want to put up with it either, buddy.
Sorry, I suggested it, guys.
Dylan, what did you do? What did you
I
put
knew
us through?
I did put it on the list.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
my
you put it on the
bad.
list.
I was like, oh, maybe this will be a fun Chris Seaver movie. Maybe he will have learned his lesson. No, all his movies are the same. Honestly, I don't have much more to say about this movie. It's not good, and I don't want to talk about it. It kind of makes me sick if I have to think about it even more.